All right, we have the new EP from Currents to check out. This is an EP called All That Follows. We are actually checking this out a couple days late. I had recently my birthday on this past Friday, and I've been super busy and just wanting to relax a little bit for my birthday weekend. So I kind of took a little break from weekend recording, and I am now back for this week. This week seems like a perfect week anyway to catch up on any recording that I missed last week, because honestly, this week seems pretty slow music wise. Not too much going on, at least not yet anyway. So yeah, I might as well catch up on some releases, and I'm going to start it off with this EP reaction. I was going back and forth, honestly, whether or not I actually was going to do a full EP reaction to this, or if I was just going to react to the new lead single, which was Rise and Fall, which is the last track on this EP. I was really going back and forth, but you know, I feel like I need to do Currents a little bit of justice here and do the full EP. Because their first track, It Only Gets Darker, which we're going to start off with in a minute here, is actually one of the best songs that Currents has released in a little while. And I absolutely loved the real darker tone and everything that created. So I'm really, really excited to check out this EP. At first, when they were teasing, I thought it was just going to be a new song. But then they dropped a whole ass, 5-song EP. Which I did not expect at all. I thought it was just going to be the new song. But no, they full on just dropped a new EP. So yeah, I know a lot of people have said in the past that I am talking too much between songs, so I'm going to try and keep that to a minimum. But if I do have something just real quick and important to say, maybe before we jump into the next track, I will. But I'll try and keep this as a smooth kind of reaction going through, and then maybe give my final thoughts afterwards. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's get into this. This is It Only Gets Darker. We're going to start off with track 1, It Only Gets Darker, and then we'll move on to Spotify, because I'm watching the video for this one. And then we'll move on to Spotify for the middle 3 tracks, and then we'll go back to YouTube for Rise and Fall. But yeah, let's get it. This is It Only Gets Darker from Currents. Let's go. I already did a reaction to this one, if anyone wants to go check that out. So if I don't have much to say during this one, you know why. I'm very much used to this song already. I just love how harsh the vocals have gotten, especially compared to last album. Just seems more gnarly sounding. Like the fact that the last album was good, but not as good as this. I just love how well this was mixed. The only complaint I had about this was the vocals being a little bit muddied, but that's about it. I've actually seen this video quite a few times, but why is it just pulling into me that they're recording in a cemetery? I just clued into that. I've seen this video like a handful of times already. And I'm just getting that they're recording in a cemetery. Why am I so slow on that? I don't know if I noticed that on the first reaction. I can't remember. But I don't think so. I did note the moody feeling of it, but I don't know. I love the aesthetic of it. Love that scream, man. Every time I hear it, I love that scream. One of the most evil screams I've heard from Currents. Okay, yeah, just briefly before we do move on, I just wanted to note again, I did do a full reaction to that song. So if you want to go see my original thoughts on it, I will definitely link it at the end of the video. I might even put it in the comment section. I don't know. I'll probably at the very least leave it at the end of the video. So definitely go check that out if you're interested. But yeah, definitely loved the vibes of that. Like I said, though, the mix of the vocals is the only nitpicky thing I really had to complain about. I think I mentioned this the first time around too, which was the vocals. So I hope that does get better. Maybe it was just the YouTube mix. I know on Deezer, where I typically listen to a lot of my music because lossless, you know, it does sound a little bit better, but because you know, YouTube typically ruins mixes a lot. But we'll see how it sounds on Spotify for the rest of the songs. So yeah, let's get up My Severance now on Spotify. Yeah, let's get it. You see, it already sounds much crisper. And I'm not even playing on lossless on Spotify right now. It sounds so much better already. Ooh, okay. Okay. Remember that riff? Ooh. Riff is sick. Oh, that riff is disgusting. I love that. Ooh. Okay. I wish the cleans were a little bit up in the mix, but love the dark tones that it's producing. those flows. Oh, that's nasty. Oh. Yeah. Mint harmonics too going on in the background. Nasty. Loving the dark tones. Absolutely love the dark tones. Okay, now we're on to making circles. Again, great solid riff. Nice main riff going on. Okay, starting off with Queens. This part specifically, the Queens aren't buried in the mix, which is nice. Quick little sick. This chorus is nice. That riff is like turning into a fun, bouncy riff. I love how we go from that like fun, energetic mix, like of harsh vocals in the riff, we dive down into this like more mellow side. Instrumentally, this is way better than their last album, 100%. Last album was sick too, but this is surpassing that, 100%. adjust myself. I feel a breakdown coming.
So much for the fist of God.
Yeah, I called it. Oh, the panning.
Now that you're gone, I'm questioning everything, but I'm convinced of this. You're in my way.
Okay. Job well done on the breakdown. Nice little fade out. Okay. Now we're heading into Can't Turn Back. Ooh, okay. Oh, okay. Bass is going hard too here. Oh. Oh. Tempo going on here. Always so good at those little small arpeggios going on. This is, I think this might be my favorite song so far. Just so intense. Woo. Okay. Gotta be getting a breakdown, right? Song this heavy, don't let me down. Come on. Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh. That is tasty. Mwah. Chef's kiss on that breakdown. Loving how gnarly and dark this EP is, man. The perfect sound I wanted out of that last album. 100%. All right. Okay, now before we head into Rise and Fall on YouTube again, yeah, definitely very interesting so far on the CP. Just want to mention real quick, the dark vibes overall are stellar. I loved the production. You know, definitely, even on Spotify, the mix can be a little bit better on the vocals. So overall, that will be my most consistent complaint over this EP. I wish the vocals were a little bit higher in the mix. Maybe just like even a smidge, you know, because especially for the harsher tones, like the harsh vocals, especially the lows you can like somewhat tell, but especially when there's a heavy riff going on, it is definitely harder to tell. So I definitely wish that they did pick up the volume a little bit in the mix for the vocals. The clean vocals, it really depends. On It Only Gets Darker, it's very quiet and buried in the mix, but the other songs I'm not too worried about for the clean vocals. So we'll see how Rise and Fall goes. But yeah, let's get into Rise and Fall, and then we'll talk about the final thoughts on the EP. But yeah, let's get into Rise and Fall. Okay. Okay, that drum part was sick.
These silver ties, they cut the ones that we love. The future starting to frown like a madman. Are we enough? Or is this part of the drive? Nothing feels like it matters when the silence screams.
Okay.
I can't find what's left for me. Besides another
See, the cleans are better on this one, and compared to the other tracks too. On It Only Gets Darker, it's kind of buried, but the cleans are fine otherwise. Okay. And I have this like scratching noise in the background too. Seeming more on the simpler side, I have to say, compared to the rest of the EP, but still very enjoyable. Okay. Okay, what a way to end the EP. Yeah, let's talk about the EP for a second. So, with starting off with It Only Gets Darker, we're heading into this more darker sound than previous releases. You know, they've always had like somewhat of a darker tone. But this really like emphasizes that dark mix. I don't know the exact tuning. I can't pick that out right now, what tuning they're using right now for the guitars on this one, but it sounds even lower than their previous work. So definitely am loving how they're going deeper and darker and heavier on this one. With It Only Gets Darker, like I said, my main complaint is it being like the vocals being too buried in the mix, no matter the platform. I feel especially the harsh vocals throughout the whole EP could have been brought up a little bit. Rise and Fall didn't seem too bad overall. Seemed to match more on par for what their previous releases were. But for the rest of the EP, the first 4 tracks, I could definitely tell that like maybe the harsh vocals were a little bit buried in the mix, especially with It Only Gets Darker. The cleans on It Only Gets Darker were definitely buried in the mix. And then it got progressively better throughout the EP. So I'm not too concerned overall for the clean vocals. It was more the harsh vocals that I'm more complained about. But other than that, like this whole EP was solid. I absolutely loved how they're really diving into those arpeggios and quite a few pinch harmonic times too. And definitely they're not shy of doing that. They definitely have brought in that work before in past releases, even on the last album. They definitely are known for that, but it seems a little bit more emphasized this time around, which I really love. They are also very much darker, and just overall the theme of the EP just it screams moody and dark vibes, which of course Currents has always had this like dark feeling, but they really are perfecting it this time around. So I really love that aspect. Now I don't know who mixed it. Was it Chris? I have a feeling it was Chris Wiseman. That probably okay, so it was produced by Chris Wiseman, which makes sense. This definitely did have that Chris Wiseman sound. So definitely am proud that Chris practically took over this whole thing and did his thing with it. But again, like I said, the only real qualm I had about this EP was the vocals being a little bit buried in the mix. But other than that, this is a perfect, like, I want to say this is like an 8 out of 10 for me for an EP. If I had to give a rating, which I rarely do ratings anymore, but if I had to give this a rating, this would definitely be a solid 8 out of 10. Had to take away a little bit because, some of the choruses could have taken a little bit more work. But other than that, the harsh vocals and whatnot buried in the mix also kind of took away from a little bit of the experience of it. But I definitely do dig this. This is by far way better than their last album. Their last album, I definitely had some complaints about it where it just felt almost lifeless to a point and just felt like they were kind of getting repetitive a little bit with what they were doing in their past, kind of not really going anywhere with it. So it definitely, like, I went back to that album quite a few times, but it just, as I listened to it, it kind of lost its life a little bit to me, at least to me anyway. I still like and enjoy the album. It's just not as great as what I would hoped it to be. And this is exactly what I would have expected out of Currents at this time and date. So I love that they are really like, this isn't really based on fan feedback. I feel like this is more just of them progressing naturally, right? And this is where I feel like they would shine the most, right? So if they can keep tweaking and making improvements to the mix and everything on, raising the vocals, this technically would have been a 10 out of 10 EP and might have made, maybe even this still might make EP of the year for me, just based on that. I loved the tones on this, and this is really making me excited for the future for Currents, because Currents is one of those bands that, yes, they're good, they have popularity, but they're nowhere near where I would want them to be for popularity, and they are definitely still underrated in my eyes. Of course, like, if you go to Currents' Spotify, they still have over 1 million monthly listeners, which is fucking excellent. But they definitely need more, especially when you have bands like bands like Bad Omens, Sleep Token, stuff like that are reaching like 60-70 million monthly listeners. I kind of want these guys to be at around at least 5 mil. But we'll see where this goes from this EP and their future work. Definitely am excited for their future work for sure. Don't know when that's going to be. I mean, they surprise dropped this EP out of nowhere when we all thought that they were just going to be releasing a new single. They surprise dropped this whole EP. So we'll see if they do drop a whole album maybe next year. Who knows? But yeah, either way, I think I'm going to end the reaction here. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. What are your thoughts on the whole EP? What are your thoughts on the mix and everything? Leave down your rating as well if you like. But yeah, that's about it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit that like button if you did enjoy this video. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials. Will be listed down below in the description. But yeah, that's about it. I've been Shinebox. Keep shining, everyone, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.